Now, I'm sure most of you out there have at least tried barbecue ribs at some point in your life. Now, it might have come from a restaurant down the street, maybe a buddy's house, or just a tailgate party passing through. But have you ever wondered about cooking them in the privacy of your own home, maybe in the backyard? Well, my name is Gary James, and I'm here to explain a foolproof step-by-step method of creating a perfect slab of ribs. Now, I understand a lot of this comes from there's fears of not wanting to venture out on something new, but this is not just for experts. This is very attainable for beginners as well. Now, I'm going to explain how to prepare the raw ribs, how to prepare the smoker or the oven if you don't have a smoker, and a 3-step process of cooking the ribs known as 3-2-1. Now, the first step in this process is prepping the ribs. So first, it doesn't matter how many you get, I'm just going to use one as an example. Get the raw set of ribs. Now we're going to flip it over, and on the bottom of the ribs, there's something called the membrane. Now, a membrane is just a silvery, kind of skin-like material that coats the whole bottom of the ribs. Now, we want to remove this. So after you get that off, you can flip it over, and then we got to try to trim the fat, or the excess fat, off the corners, because if you don't leave, or if you do leave this membrane and the excess fat, a lot of people don't like the texture of it. It gets kind of gritty, and it's just not quite as enjoyable. Now, after you're trimmed, you need to wash under cold water. And removing the membrane, trimming the fat, and washing with cold water is also backed up by major cooking shows like Vindulge and Hey Girl Hey, and it's been proven to be the best way to start prepping ribs. Now, after you get the fat trimmed and the membrane removed and it's completely washed, now we're going to coat both sides in any dry rub of your choice. And after that, set them aside, and then we'll go start to the step 2, which is prepping the grill or the oven. Now, if you're using an oven in the kitchen, the only thing you're going to have to do in this step is flip the switch to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you want to be a little bit more adventurous, and if you do have a smoker, this is the good part. So you go outside, it takes a little bit of time to get the fire going. You have to use a little charcoal maybe, but it does take a little time to get this fire and the temperature up to about around 225 degrees. Now, with an open flame, it's going to fluctuate, so you're going to have to constantly monitor this every 20 or 30 minutes. And I say this from experience because I can't tell you how many times, time after time again, that I've walked away for 45 minutes and come back to either the fire being completely out or it come back to just a raging blaze, and I've burnt the entire set of ribs. Now, that's probably not what we're all wanting to do, is eat some burnt ribs. Okay, so after we get the grill prepped and the food prepped, then we moved to the option of the method 3-2-1. It's been proven to be the most consistent by award-winning barbecue people all through the country. Now, the 3-2-1 stand for hours. The first 3 is 3 hours. You're going to take the slab of ribs that you've already prepared, and you're going to set it on the rack or set it in the oven for 3 hours with the bone face down. And then after that 3 hours, you are going to remove it. You're going to wrap it, or you're going to flip it upside down on a piece of foil, pour a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there, wrap it up tight with foil, and then throw it back on the grill for another 2 hours. And then after that, this is the fun part, then we get it out, we unwrap it, we turn it back over to where the bones are now facing down once again, we slather it in barbecue sauce, and we cook it face up with the foil open for another hour. This is going to get your perfect caramelized barbecue texture on it. Now, there's not really that much to process the subject of cooking ribs, but with anything new requires just a little bit of outsider knowledge. Now, as a brief recap, this started with cleaning and preparing the ribs, then properly heating the heat source to 225 degrees, whether it be a smoker, a grill, or an oven in the kitchen. Now, finally, using the easy to follow 3-2-1 method to cook the ribs. Now, whether it's pork or beef ribs or oven or a smoker, we all have our preferences in life. And there isn't a right answer to questions like these. So feel free to make this however you'd like. Either way, these are a few steps I've discussed are a great way to ensure that your ribs are cooked properly. Thanks.